Hey YouTube, Alex Conley here today with another video. Today's video, I want to talk about why moving to Asia does not have to be permanent or year-round. And what that means is you're not getting on a plane or a boat or whatever method of transportation you're using to get to Asia, Southeast Asia, and going over there with all of your things permanently and literally never seeing the Western world again. Actually, a lot of people have these mixed schedules that are not, I stay in Thailand or Vietnam or Philippines or Cambodia, wherever, 365 days per year. A lot of them have the following, so a popular one is 6 months on, 6 months off. So a lot of people will retain their home in a Western country and they have friends and family there, and they have, say, children there, they have a business there. They've got real estate investments there, and they don't want to permanently leave these things behind. And so what they do is they spend half the year in Southeast Asia, and then they spend half the year in a Western country. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people prefer a 3 months per location type policy. So they'll spend the summer in the United States, and then in the fall, they'll spend 3 months in Europe, and then from, say, through the winter until late spring, before they go back to the States, they'll spend 6 months in Asia, and they'll spend, say, 3 months in one part of Asia and 3 months in another part of Asia. There's nothing wrong with that. So keep in mind that there's more flexibility than you might think when it comes to spending time in Asia. It's not going to necessarily be, I get off the plane and I'll never see America again. It could very well be, well, you know what? I really like the United States, but I want to explore other places. So I'll spend my summers in America where I can see my friends, my family, manage my business, talk to bankers, things like this. But then the rest of the year, I'm spending time outside of the country. And this is ultimately up to you. If you can afford this, if you can plan to make it work, then it's really your choice. And so go at this with the mindset of thinking about what will bring you fulfillment or what will bring you happiness, not necessarily what's going to be easy for other people or what sounds most practical to other people or what other people prefer. Um, Now, certainly, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a financial expert. You'll need to talk to your accountant and these licensed professionals, certified professionals that will be able to give you financial advice related to what your goals are. I do not provide any of that. This channel is for entertainment. Um, so what else do we have here? Um, some people, they want to spend, kind of contradicting what I said earlier. Some people say, well, I want to get off the plane there and I only want to see America once a year. And so those people may think even a whole summer is too long to spend in America. So some of those folks, they may live in Asia 11 months out of the year, and they think, well, 1 month per year, I really care about my kids. I really care about my brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, etc. So for 11 months a year, I'm going to spend time in Southeast Asia, but 1 month per year, I will buy a plane ticket, a round trip flight back to my Western country of choice, and then spend the time there catching up with my loved ones, catching up with the people I care about, uh, doing things as a group, cooking and going out to different attractions, uh, go hiking, these types of things. A lot of people choose Christmas, so you'll have to keep in mind, which month of the year do I want to come back and visit. There's challenges and benefits depending on what time of year you come back, and so keep that in mind. If you're coming back for the month of December, it may if you're coming to the Northeast or the Midwest, it could be cold. If you're living in a warm Asian country, Southeast Asian country, you need to plan ahead and think, what kind of clothing am I going to need? Uh, what kind of plans do I need to make? Am I going to need to have some flexibility due to inclement weather? On the other hand, if you're going to Southern California in December, there's not much to plan for except for that it may rain. So keep that in mind. Depending on where you're living, the weather in that area is probably not going to be the same as the weather in the Western world that you're seeking out. So think about that. If you are planning on doing 11 months in Asia, 1 month in a Western country, keep in mind that you may not have the clothing prepared, or you may not have uh, the weather gear, prepared for a trip. So that you may need to, if you are having friends and family that live in the States, if they have space, maybe they stash a week's worth of warm weather or cold weather clothing for you. Um, these types of things are arrangements that can be made, and I'm certain if you have these relationships in the United States that are worth you taking the time and money to go keep up with, then it will be worth making the adjustments to account for that. uh, Next, some people, they just want to take a vacation for a month, so they're not going to ever move to Asia. They're not interested in moving to Asia, but they like the lifestyle change. They like to mix it up. They enjoy their dollar, in some cases going further. They like the sun and the weather. So some people, there's nothing wrong with this at all. They love their lifestyle in the West, and they want just a month in Asia. And so for those types of people, there's more flexibility involved. They probably have a little bit bigger budget to spend when they're in Asia, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you find that, well, after a month, the Philippines really starts, getting to me. Little things get on my nerves, or Thailand really bugs me. I get tired of never or rarely hearing English. Well, it's perfectly okay to just visit a lot of these places just for a month, or just for a couple of weeks, or even just a week. I've heard of some folks, they're busy. They work in a really busy field. They've got an important position. They can't take tons of time off. Maybe just a week is a perfect amount for you to get kind of a mix up. And so I wouldn't want people to watch this and to feel like, or I wouldn't want people to think about Asia and be like, well, it's an all or nothing thing. I either go there forever and never come back, or I don't go at all. It's not that type of thing at all. There's more flexibility than that. And kind of, to bouncing off of that, ironically, some people aren't interested in going back to Western country. There's nothing wrong with that either. As long as you are fulfilling the financial and the visa requirements, following all the laws and the rules in Asia, um, there's nobody should have a problem with you not wanting to come back. For somebody like me, I have only really one remaining family member still living that I'm in contact with, my grandmother. And aside from that, I don't have living family. So for me, my primary reasons for wanting to come back to the States and visit are not going to be the same as yours. I don't have kids, for example. So if I were to go to Asia, I'm not going to have kids or grandchildren miss me uh, enough to automatically warrant me coming back every year. Now, I do have friends that I'm close with, friends that I really get along with, and I'd like to see once a year. So I may very well plan it so that I am over there for, say, 11 months of the year, and then for 1 month I come back and catch up with all the people that I'm close with. Uh, I'm still learning about the different options and about what sort of plans might work best with me. Part of me thinks the 3 months in each different destination plan would work best for me. But it's certainly that's going to be more costly. More costly because one of the primary tax exemptions that people think about with living abroad is if you spend less than 30 days in the United States, there's a foreign sort of based residency tax exemption type of thing. Now, once again, I'm not a financial professional, but the idea is that if you spend less than 30 days in the United States in a calendar year, in a January to December, that you're not consuming the resources, you're not consuming the taxes, and up to, I believe, the first $100,000 of income can potentially be exempted. Now, once again, talk to your CPA before you go about making any changes, and make sure that you're following the law when it comes to this. But certainly, if you were spending more than that, as in the case of 3 months, like a whole summer in the United States, you're not going to qualify for this. So automatically, right off the bat, you are going to pay a premium when it comes to the tax side of things. There, not only that, but you'll have to pay. If you're spending more money in a Western country for your lifestyle than in an Eastern country, you're going to have to account for a higher cost of living during that time period. If you're visiting people in different parts of the country, you're going to have to account for flying, say, to California and then to the East, to New York, and then so these types of costs can really add up. The more, I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, the more mobile you are, expect to spend more money on transportation costs. You're not going to be able to cook as much when you're traveling, so or you may not be able to cook as much when you're traveling, so you have to account for having to eat more meals at restaurants. You may have to rent or pay for more short-term, essentially, deals. You may have to rent more hotels. So think about these types of things, and keep in mind that moving to Asia doesn't have to be permanent. It's certainly not the solution to all your problems, but consider that there is flexibility allowed, and just make sure that if you're interested in certain types of flexibility, that they may cost more money, more time. You may have to jump through more legal hoops. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I just wanted to provide a little bit of insight based on what, a little bit of information about kind of the things that I've been reading about and how they affect my ideas and plans. But anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Alex Conley. If you like this video, if you want to see more, definitely give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.